small, but we're still mighty, right? Okay. It's Friday. There's a little story after we do this I will tell in a minute. Ready? We practiced. Ready? We good? Okay, ready. We are Slayers! One more time. Move around. Get in order. Let's go. Let's go. We are. So here's our funny story. The scrambling was part of the fun. We bought huge balloons to welcome our students on the first day. Huge balloons. And we spelled Royals this direction as they were walking in. So it was a fourth grade student that walked in and said, "Slayers? Who's that?" We thought it was hilarious, and we thought we'd share something that happened on our first day. It's kind of funny. I think the Blue Shields need a switch. Anyway, we'll work on spelling on Monday. How does that sound? I'd like to introduce my wonderful staff. Like I said, we may be small, but we are mighty. I have a spirited and talented staff that I'm so proud to introduce. I'm going to start on the end. Laura Gorton, second grade. Camille Martin, music. Pamela DePazzo, PE. Andrea Kirkland, third grade. Jennifer Sandberg, fifth grade. Jen Kotkin, fourth grade. Diana Stoll, sixth grade. Kirsten Bears, first grade.
T's over here. T's over here. If you are the letter T, hurry up. We're almost out of time. Miss Lewis, T-E-A-C-H. Let's do it. We can do it. I believe. Do y'all need an extra sign? T? Yes, thank you, Jesus. Okay. Can I get a round of applause for my DJ? I appreciate that. So we are from the east side, the best side, just in case you were wondering. It has definitely been an adventure, one that we have embraced, sometimes with tears, sometimes with laughter. We are blessed to be able to be a part of you, the Leman Academy staff. Thank you to Miss Bethany and to our other principal, Mr. Awali, who let us come shadow when our campus was still not ready, which kind of gave us a little bit of breathing room. But now, without further ado, we're about to do a cheer. I'm not going to use the microphone because my voice is really loud, and some people might be kind of sensitive to that, so I don't want to offend you. Even though we're in a church and the Lord says make a joyful noise, I'm just saying, I don't want anybody to get upset. So, I need a little crowd participation, but it's so important that you clap on beat. So if you cannot clap on beat, do not clap. Because all these people need you to be on beat, okay? So I'm gonna start the cheer, and after each thing, I will introduce the staff that is holding, well, not all of them, just what grade and what level. I mean, because we'd be up here forever, but, because we got a lot of people. But if you can help me clap on beat, that would be great. Okay, here we go. We're gonna spell out teach in a way that's better, so when I say get on
So in our school, our parents have coined, it was a parent who initially coined it. Our acronym is LOVE, Leman Oro Valley. So we do a lot with the love piece at our school, and it's pretty cool. And then we have a cheer that ends with it, and our cheer is in Latin. So we had Gordon Carpenter doing the lead, and we had so many leaks. My husband has coined Leman Academy, Leakman Academy, just saying. So he had to be at school, so Gordon was doing the 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. He had to stay at school. The contractors came. Stay up there. Teachers, stay up. I have a few teachers to announce, more than a few because we grew by like 250 kiddos. So if you were here last year, part of Love, raise your hand and thank them. They did a great job.
So, for those of you who don't know about us, we are the very refined and professional school, Leman Academy of Excellence in Sierra Vista. We are very, very professional. Anyways, Dr. Leman calls us his little star because we, at one time, were the smallest school and now we're not. So, we have a little chant. Let's do our first one, the nice one, okay? Twinkle, twinkle, little star. We know how to raise the bar. Okay, but let's do our real one. The one we do behind closed doors when nobody's looking. Ready, guys? Twinkle, twinkle, little star. We know how just great we are. Boom! Thanks, guys. You can go. This year has been one of the most incredible journeys of my life, both personally and professionally. This group of people that I get to surround myself with every day are more than just my colleagues. They're more than just my friends. They truly are my family. We really believe in the Leman philosophy that we have established relationships that can weather any type of storm. Right, Hannah? Everybody, look at Hannah. Yay, Hannah, we're so happy to have you here, Hannah. You guys don't know why, but we do. Anyways.
I'm not going to do the, I would prefer, Ms. Leckman, if you could come down, please. Miranda, to your spots, please. This is for all of us, each one of us. And I'll let her finish saying a few words. The brains behind what we do and stuff like this. Not me. Ms. Leckman.
So, what we are going to share with you, he stole my words, kind of. It's an anthem that we're going to sing, but it really is for all of us, because we are all Leman, and Leman is the greatest school.
Whoa. Whoa.
Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've labored for.
Whoa.
Been working on your plan, your sweat soaking through the floor.
Whoa.
It's ringing in your bones, there's a call that you can't ignore. Taking your breath, stealing your mind, and now there's don't fight it, they're coming for you, running at you. With all those new scholars, start another chapter. It's dreaming thing that you can let me do. This living dream, it's fire, it's freedom, it's breaking open. It's a cleaner than the preacher, and we bring devotion. There's something breaking in the call of every call. It's holding all that you know. So tell me, do you wanna go? Where it's stirring up what's good and what's right. Where the stars are burning the light. Impossible comes true. This dream is now in view. Oh, Leman's the greatest school. We light it up, we won't come down. And the sun can't stop us now. We're watching it come true. Keep doing what we do. Oh, Leman's the greatest school. Whoa. Colossal we come as advocates in the ring. Whoa. Where the lost get found by the safe love that we bring. Don't fight it, they're coming for you, running at you. We're all those new scholars, start another chapter. It's blinding us, shining anything that you know. Just surrender to your calling. Do you want to go? Where it's stirring up, it's doing what's right. Where the scholars are finding the light. Impossible comes true, this dream is now in view. Oh, Leman's the greatest school. We light it up, we won't come down. And the sun can't stop us now. We're watching it come true, keep doing what we do. Oh, Leman's the greatest school.
Hey, hey,
It's a place where weeds can learn.
hey, hey,
It's a place where kids can grow.
hey, hey.
And we can change the world. This is where we
Wanna
wanna
be.
be. It's a place where kids can learn. It's a place where kids can grow. And we can change the world. This is where we wanna be. This is where we wanna be.
Where we stand up what's good and what's right. Where the scholars are finding the light. Impossible comes true, this dream is now in view. Oh, Leman's the greatest school. We light it up, we won't come down. And the sun can't stop us now. We're watching it come true, keep doing what we do. Oh, Leman's the greatest school.
Wow. Kathy, come up here. Did you not get my memo that it was only be 4 minutes total? Huh? Look at Raquel. Wow. Thanks everybody for coming. That's pretty much it right there. Wow. Austin, we have that taped, right? Yes, okay, very good. Wow. How do we? I can't see it. It seems so.
Thank you. And thank you for not singing Happy Birthday. That's good. Thank you so much. Wow. This has been an inspiring morning. Thank you, David, for pulling all this together. I've had a lot of introductions. I mean, I spoke in an all African American church once in Detroit, Michigan. I'll never forget it. My introduction was, "You're about to hear the coolest white dude I ever heard," and that was my introduction. But I think, Chrissy, you just topped that one. That was a surprise and then some. And I have written 62 books, and I thought I would start with this. It's When Your Kid is Hurting. I was driving over here, and I thought, you know what, I'd like to give this to somebody. And I thought, well, who would I really like to give it to? And I thought I would give it to someone who embodies the Leman way. And she has won the first Dr. Leman Award, and I'm walking out to Tracy McCracken, and you get the first Leman book. That young woman does more good things and wears more hats and puts a smile on and just sucks it up and goes and does it. And I'm sure there's many days, Tracy, where you're just dead tired and don't want to do it. I've seen her in those high heels. I don't know how she wears those suckers. If you notice, I wear sneakers, and that's about it. But again, welcome back to everybody. I mean, that's inspiring. I said to somebody just a minute ago, is there any other school in the world that does something like this? And I don't think there is. I mean, this is awesome just to be a part of it. And is it Carrie? Sweetheart, you and I could go on the road together. Awesome. Just awesome. So, and I'm going to look forward to talking to new teachers. We're going to talk. Okay, but every time I think about a new anything, the beginning of the year, the ending of the year, and I've shared this with a group before, but it's just so funny. Swimming coach at the University of Arizona at awards night, he got up and he said, "Well, it's been a great year. No one drowned." And Steve Covey once said, "Start with the end in mind." You know, what a great thought. And what a great thinker Steve was. But when we think about the end in mind, I mean, what are you guys here for? You tell me. I mean, some of you are here because it's a job. It's you punch the clock, you do your job, you go home. I get it, okay? I can deal with that. Do I feel sorry for you? I do. Because you miss an opportunity. We all have an opportunity in this room to make a difference in people's lives. Life is short, my friends. I'm telling you, look at me, I'm near death. And when you start to die, they give you all kinds of awards and things, and you know, it's gratifying that people realize you did a few things. But there's nothing more gratifying than making a difference in a kid's life. And I've seen it with my own eyes in this school, where a teacher, a gifted kindergarten teacher, took an interest beyond the classroom. She knew this kid had issues, but she reached out. And see, if you want to make a difference, I got news for you. You got to put the time in. You got to make the effort. You make the call to the home. I'm concerned about your son. I'm concerned about your daughter. You get to meet the family. Wait a minute, that means I'm here after school? Yes, that's part of the deal. You put time into it. But this teacher would tell you, you know what, I got to know the family well, the siblings, the grandparents, the aunt, the uncle, and ask those people about Leman Academy today, and they won't shut up. Why? Because a teacher saw something that needed attention and reached out. And you can't beat that. So I just want to talk to you a little bit, I won't talk to you long, about being a difference maker and what difference makers do. They do go the extra mile. Dennis O'Reilly mentioned Jerry Valenzuela, pardon me. And Jerry, I'm glad Jerry's not here, to tell you the truth, because Jerry hates to be in the spotlight. He is a doer, if there ever was one. But that story about this little kinder who had her, it was tooth fairy time, and you know, she was trying to save it, and she inadvertently threw her little tooth in this big bin that's this big, full of garbage. And only Jerry would filter through all that garbage and trash and bring that little tooth to that kid. That's going the extra mile. Everybody can be an encourager. Everybody can make a difference in each other's lives. And, you know, we all grew up thinking praise is great. You know, you should see me on Good Morning America defending praise is destructive with children. Now, for some of you, you're thinking, Leman, you got to be nuts. Praise is good for children. I beg to differ with you. It's not good for children. In fact, it's injurious to kids. Any of you watch, what is it, America's Got Great Talent? Mel B. She drives me nuts. Oh! Everything is just over the top. There's a difference between praise and encouragement. And one of the principles that this school is founded on is good old vitamin E. It comes out of a book called Making Children Mind Without Losing Yours, which many trees gave up their lives for. I mean, I have sold a ton of those books. But that vitamin E and that vitamin N, and see, the difference maker isn't afraid to say time out. No, we don't do that here. There is something to training children. And I love to watch kids go down to art class, for example. And the little ones, they look like little penguins. You know, they're just single file, they're not pushing and shoving and calling each other names. And there's something great about order. There's something great about the word authority. You look at bumper stickers today, you've all seen the bumper sticker, what does it say? It says question authority. I'm here to tell you, authority is a great word for all of us to understand. There is something called authority. Not authoritarianism, which most of us grew up with. Hey, you listen up, you're going to do what I tell you to do. There's your authoritarian. Your permissives, they're a little different. You know, they do things for their kids, they do their homework for their kids. Oh, they drive me nuts. Don't get me going on those guys. But anyway, a couple of weeks ago, I was in New York, and I actually lived there in the summer, but I flew my wife to New York to see a Broadway show. And it was a great show and a great time, and I go for a walk in the morning. I was going to go over to Central Park, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go down and see what's happening down at Fox. So I go down at Fox, and I'm standing out there with a crowd of people. Steve Ducey, one of the hosts, comes out, and he sees me. He said, Kevin, what are you doing here? He said, are you on the show? I said, no, I brought my wife to see a play. So I told him what I saw, and I go back to the hotel, and I have a call from a producer. Hey, Leman, we heard you're in town. Can you do the show tomorrow? Sure. I don't even ask what the topic was. So I show up, and the topic is there's a professor who's giving their students the chance to choose their grade at the beginning of the semester. And I go, what? You tell that to a donkey, kick your brains out. And so I'm on there, and they asked me, you know, what I thought, and I told them what I thought. I said, that's ridiculous. He says, part of the way society goes today. I said, everybody gets a trophy, but now you get to pick your trophy, the specific kind of trophy you want. Well, that's not the Leman way. We give crowns to kids for achievement for a reason. We think kids take pride in their achievement. And by the way, if you're still hung up on praise, let me give you the opposite, and that's encouragement. And a kid brings home 5 A's. And what does a parent say? The traditional authoritarian-based parent. Oh, 5 A's. Oh, I am so excited. I am calling your grandmother right now. Oh, here's $20. Now, there's the praise and reward that all of us grew up with. Let me give you the encouragement side of that. Wow, 5 A's. Honey, you hit the ball out of the park. Looks like all that hard work you put in really paid off. Congratulations. Fist bump. And you just saved yourself $20. But to see the takeaway for the kid, I did that. That's something I created. So I said on this interview, I said, I noticed, I researched that real quickly, and I said, I see that only 2 college students signed up for the course. Only 2. Why? Even college students know better. That's not healthy. That's not good. People want to earn their grade. They don't want to be given it. And what we do today with kids, again, don't get me going on that. I've written books on the subject. It's absolutely crazy. But anyway, we mentioned fun. Leman Academy, every place we go ought to be fun. The classroom ought to be fun. Now, for all you newbies, I show up in your classes, okay? If you don't want me there, just ignore me. And I'll realize I came at an inappropriate time, and I will drift into the shadows. I'm gone. But what I like to do, if it's appropriate, and you're the captain of that ship, you're the one that makes that call, not me. You do. You say, oh, we got a visitor. And with a little ankle biters, most of those young teachers say, good morning, Dr. Lee. And the kids actually get excited, believe it or not, see old fat guy come to their class. Because usually I'll bring a little toy, a little somebody who sings or dances, or I make a fool of myself. And one of my gifts in life is to be able to talk like Donald Duck. So I can come in and I tell the kids that Dr. Leman has a duck that lives inside of him, and he's bilingual, so he can say things like, "What's happening?" And then he turns around and speaks Spanish and says, "¿Qué pasó?" And just have fun with the kids. But I always try to have a little teaching about being kind to each other. I always try to slip those kids a commercial announcement. And many times I'll say to a teacher, and this happened last year, it still bothers me that this even happened, and it happened in Marana School. And I walked into the classroom, and I said, you know you've got a lot of kind kids in class, but could you just find me just one kind scholar? And so the teacher, not knowing what quite to do with that tough question, find me a kind scholar. Is that asking too much? She turns around and she goes to her little canister with tongue depressors in it, with kids' names on it. And she does this, and she pulls out a name. Really? Let me tell you, that's not what Leman Academy is all about. Okay? It's not a trophy school. If you can't find a kind student, scholar in the classroom, there's something wrong with all of us. Okay? So anyway, we want to be encouraging. And encouraging says, you got to know where you're going. I always ask families, hey, do you have a port of call? On the Sea of Life, do you have a port of call? You're the captain or the co-captain of the ship, but do you know where you're going? Yes, there's times you're going to have to throw a life jacket to somebody. Yes, there's times where there's feared mutiny on the good ship family. But do you know where you're going? And see, we give you guys a great gift, you educators. We give you authority in the classroom. Don't mistake that for authoritarianism. Authority is a great thing. It's a healthy thing. Kids live up to the expectations. One of the things I've learned in my 75 years on this earth, the expectations are important. And kids will live up to those expectations, true or false. You old teachers who've got a few stripes on your sleeve, you know that's darn right true. So what are the expectations you set for the kids? I'm telling you, you set the sail and the wind blows, and you are going to get there. So difference makers, they're authentic. They tell the truth. There ought to be a humanness that all of the scholars see in us. And we all make mistakes, and sometimes as teachers or staff, we say things or do things that are inappropriate. A simple, you know what, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Would you forgive me? That never, never takes us down the wrong path. In my book, Making Children Mine Without Losing Yours, it's loaded with positive principles. Let me ask you a question. Can you make a child mind? Again, the title is Making Children Mind Without Losing Yours. It's a clever title. But can you make children mind? I don't think so. But I think you can set up circumstances where a kid figures out, I'm better off, to go with the program than to push against the program. So nothing I'm saying this morning, folks, is rocket science. This stuff is all simple. But there has to be accountability. To teach without accountability is to prepare scholars for a world that doesn't exist. And that's one thing we insist on. That we want kids to be the best they can. We want to create critical thinkers. We want kids to discuss things. The more the teacher is talking, okay, the less learning is going on, trust me. The smart teacher learns to let the kids. I just heard some glowing remarks about one of our male teachers, and it just thrills me to know that kind of thing happens in the classroom. I've often said, if you see a turtle on a fence post, you know he didn't get there by himself. But here's a question for you. Who believed in you? Remember the old Kenny Rogers song, She Believed in Me? Well, who believed in you? How did you get to where you are this morning? I got news for you. Somebody had your back. Somebody believed in you. I want you to think about who that person was right now, or persons. Some of you are like so many people. They have one, only one. Solamente uno. Others are blessed. I had 4. I had a mother who loved me anyway. I graduated 4th and bottom of my class in high school, so you could imagine she was in school more than I was. They brought me back and gave me, when you get close to death, they give you all kinds of awards, trust me. And they brought me back to my high school and gave me this Wall of Fame award. It was so funny. I said, excuse me, run that by me one more time. And my mother lived to be 95 years of age, so she was 90 at the time, and I got to drive her up to the event, and she was telling me how proud she was of me, and I reminded her the cops bringing me home one night, and you know, all these things that I did, and everything I said, she said, oh, you were such a good boy. You were such a good boy. It was so embarrassing because a fraternity of my brother of mine broke into a men's store, clothing store. He was drunk and stole a whole bunch of sweaters. Well, I ended up with, a toilet paper size box of sweaters. Stupid me. Receiving stolen goods is a felony. Talk about being dumb as mud. I was dumb as mud. And years later, I was speaking at a pastor's conference in the Midwest. And a guy comes up to me who went to college with me years ago in Chicago. He says, Kevin, he says, you probably won't remember me. I said, Rob Kronberg, how are you? And he ended up being a pastor. So he's at this pastor conference. He says, I'm driving here, I was thinking about something. When I was in college, I bought a brand new sweater from you for just 50 cents. Oh boy, yeah. Dumb as mud. Yeah, but it was my mother and my dad, and I was a Little League baseball player and a little hot shot, I thought. I was on the all-star team, and I remember being up to the plate, and we had a guy pitching against us. I'm telling you, he had a 5 o'clock shadow. That kid couldn't have been 12 years old. He was more like 24. And he threw a fastball so fast, and I can remember being up to the plate, and my little knees were shaking, and I can still remember my father's booming voice saying, hit it out of the park, Kevin, hit it out of the park. I'm going, oh, okay, Dad, coming up. I was afraid to even be in the batter's box. But he believed in me anyway. I had an older sister who was 8 years older than me. She was like surrogate mom to me. But then there was Miss Wilson, this old gray-haired school teacher who was somewhere between estrogen and death. And she tutored me. She tutored me in my senior year of high school, or I would have never got out of school. I went to her apartment, and she tutored me. And she was the one I credit when I was 17 years old, smoking my Salem cigarettes, thinking I was so cool, my greasy hair back in those days, belt on the side, thought that was cool. You know the type. You saw Grease, you knew me. But one day in April of my senior year, she pulled me aside. She said, Kevin, did you ever think you could use some of those skills you have for something positive in life? Just like that teacher in Marana who saw this little 5-year-old kid in kindergarten and reached out to the parent. She reached into where? Chrissy O'Reilly said it. Into my heart. And all of a sudden, I'm thinking, I got skills. Skills? No teacher ever said I had skills. How easy is it to reach out and make a difference in a kid's life? If you're here for any other reason, like I say, I'm sorry. That's too bad. By the way, here's something for all you grade level teachers. You ever want to meet with me? Just call. I'll sit down with all the ankle biters, all the first graders, second graders, kinders, wherever you want. You want to just pick my brain on stuff? Not much left to pick, but you're welcome to it. But I just want to tell you, as the guy that's got his name on the building, I'm so proud of you guys. Just being here this morning, I'm still on Eastern time. They had made me stop in Dallas and do some shows, and got into Tucson, not last night, but the night before, so I'm still in another time zone. I'm tired. I'm done. But I want you to know, you encouraged me this morning. You encouraged me. And what do we got, Joe? 375 employees, And we're all different. I want you to know we value your differences. You don't have to be clones. It's pointed out that, you know, our principals all have different personalities and different staffs, and viva la difference. So God bless you as you do great work in the lives of kids and families this year. If I can be of help to you, you let me know. I do like coming to classrooms. If you'd prefer me not to be in your class, I'm not narking on you. I'm not making notes or, you know, if you think anything. No, I'm there to have fun. I want to add fun to the classroom. I think Leman Academy always has to be fun. So thank you for allowing me to be a part of your day. I look forward later. We'll be introducing one of our great teachers later on to you, and I'm going to be spending some special time with all you new teachers as well. So back to you, David. Thanks for having me.
So appreciate you. Guess who I'm going to introduce now? I just want you to, I'm going to describe a little bit. Young, vibrant, great laugh. Any guesses? Gregarious, stylish, smells really good. Alex Rodriguez, come on up. They knew when I said young.
You know, I know how Milli Vanilli